I'm an addict for Snickers.
What's good? It's your boy DJ Delz. Welcome to the Delz Show podcast. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're listening on iTunes or anywhere else, like even YouTube over at youtube.com/slash the Delz Show, or even on Daily Motion. Thank you for tuning in. I have a ton of Q&A from my Instagram account. I posted about a week ago, what do you guys want me to speak about? And I'm going to continue to do that. That's how the format's going to be. Anything goes. I'm inviting whatever you want to come my way, and I will try to answer it as best as I can and as honest as I can. And I will continue to do that through Instagram. So make sure you're following my Instagram, which is Team DJ DELZ, Team DJ Delz. And also make sure you're subscribed to youtube.com/the Delz Show. Alright? Now with that said, let's get into this Q&A. Him Got Soul wants me to speak about how he lost the icon in wrestling, China. Yeah, that's just, I don't even know what to say, man. I kind of seen it coming because of like what she's been like lately, like not lately, for years and years and years. We've seen like how she is, and she did adult movies, and I think what was the reality show she did on VH1 where she was kind of bugged out on that too. Was it Surreal Life? That was it, Surreal Life, and that was entertaining. That show, Surreal Life. But she was just like out of here, and she also was an ex to Triple H, and now Triple H is married with all these kids with Steph McMahon. So she kind of got, I would say, maybe, what's the right word? Maybe blackballed, or maybe a different word would be better than that. Whatever the case is, WWE kind of kept their distance from her, and it is what it is, man. She passed away at a young age. You got to take better care of yourselves, everyone, including myself. Like, this is really opening my eyes, seeing all these young people that just keep dying and dying. And you're supposed to live till you're like 80, 90 years old, and it seems like a lot of these people are dying at the age of like 40 to 50, and that's way too young. Even Prince passed away, which was like, Prince? Come on, man. Like, Prince is amazing. Like, I can't believe it. I still cannot believe Prince passed away. That's just, wow, right? I cannot believe Prince passed away. I really don't have much to say except, it's really sad seeing all of these guys and women. They're dying at such young ages where we're supposed to live till we're 80. Like that lady, I forgot her name, but she was on Everyone Loves Raymond, that show. She died, she was, I think, 90. That's like normal. Like that, you're supposed to like live to that age. You're not supposed to die at 46, 47, 48. So let's all like get a little more healthier out there. I know I could definitely listen to my own advice. I'm definitely not, doing crazy drugs and doing that kind of stuff, but we could always do better, And rest in peace to China, and rest in peace to Prince. I mean, Prince, though, like, can't believe it. I still can't believe it. I could believe, I hate to say it, but I can believe that China is gone because of what I've seen out there on the internet, on TV. I mean, she's kind of wild, man. So, when you see people wilding out, you can expect that. But Prince, he's very low key. We just seen him at the Kobe game. I'm pretty sure he was at the Kobe game, Kobe's last game, which was absolutely amazing. Man, I can't believe what a great game that was. I haven't had the chance to really speak about that. That Kobe game was so amazing. When he first started playing, he was missing and missing and missing. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done watching this. I'm not going to watch Kobe's last game where he just keeps hitting bricks. And I changed the station to the Golden State Warriors game. Wanted to see that history happen. I knew they were going to win that game. And all of a sudden, I got a text from one of my friends saying, dude, are you seeing what Kobe's doing? And I'm like, really? All I see is a missing. And he was like, no, man, this dude is going in now. So I turned it back, and it's a good thing he texted me. because I would have missed out on a lot of that game. He was just going in. They kept passing him the ball, of course, to make this happen. But he played an amazing game, and it was intense. Like, they won the game. It was like the perfect way for Kobe to go out. I really enjoyed the game. I think everyone did, you know. It was something special. And Kobe's, I would say he's my second favorite NBA player ever. Michael Jordan, my first. And what a way to go out, man. I wish I was able to get those sneakers he was wearing during that game, but I totally struck out on that. And they're reselling for so much money. I'm not paying that crazy resale price. No way. You gotta be crazy. So, I guess I won't be having those shoes. But it's okay. Even though I like them a lot. I love them. I would love to have that, being someone that grew up watching Kobe Bryant. I'm surprised they didn't just make that a general release shoe. You know, build up with all those retros, them being limited. I understand you want to build the hype, but you're building the hype to what? You're supposed to build the hype to the 11th model and then put that out there everywhere with a lot of pairs, you know? Kind of like what they did with the Prelude pack. I think that Nike did it wrong, but it is what it is. One day they'll retro those, I'm sure. Let's get to another question. Santana 126. He writes, your go-to shoe for the summer. Definitely will be a pair of Adidas Ultra Boost shoes. Best shoe for the summer, super comfortable. Or a pair of Saucony Grid 9000s or Shadow 6000s. Those shoes are awesome too. I cannot stop wearing a pair of Saucony Grid 6000s that are this like really nice suede, and it's blue. What is it? What's the pack? It's the No Chill pack. I wear them at least once a week. I broke them in and they're so comfortable. They're super comfortable. They're like, this pair has been in my rotation for forever now. I cannot stop wearing them. Real nice pair of kicks. Next we got from My Name is Masato. I hope I'm saying your name right. He writes, love the show, Delz. What collaboration would you like to see? Example, Adidas and Supreme. Shout me out. I'm all the way from Japan. Shout out to Japan. Much love. I love Japanese food. Love Japanese food. Now, to get to your question, I would love to see a DJ Delz Adidas collaboration, or a collaboration with me and Reebok, or me and Fila, or you know, me and someone. As far as other people, though, because I know that's what you mean. I would like to see Adidas and Supreme collab. That would be dope, right? I think that would be sick. I would love to see that on like the NMDs. That would be sick. Next we got from Young Dev. He writes, what 11s do you want to see this December? Well, the Space Jams are coming out. I would love to see cool gray 11s. Like, I want a pair of cool gray 11s with no yellowing on the bottom at all. I think that's the most slept on Jordan 11 ever. I really want a new pair of those. Next we got from Cabo. He writes, if you and Nike SB came together to make a dunk, what would it be and why? Well, I can't really answer that. And of course, I would love to do a Nike SB. Like, if I could design my own Nike SB, that would be amazing. Nike or Jordan. I doubt they would ever mess with me because they seem to really just be into athletes. That's why I don't even consider that ever happening. But if I was ever to do a Nike SB, I couldn't tell you right now what it would be, because that would be no fun if it ever happened. Who knows? Maybe it will happen. Now that I said it would never happen. It would be a dream, you know. It'd be a dream for me to work with any brand that I like. Like, it would be amazing. Like, I have this opportunity right now where I'm working with Saucony, designing my own shoe, and it's like, it's so surreal. I can't believe this is really happening. And, you know, it's a blessing. Next, from Sneaker Bang, he wants my thoughts on the Disney Star Wars land. I can't wait to get out there. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars, so, you know, like, I'm so ready to go there. My kids want to go to Disney, and I'm just waiting for them to, like, get to the right age so that they can like go on the rides. Like that would suck for them to not be able to go on a ride because they're too short. So I'm just waiting for them to get tall enough where we go there and they can do whatever they want to do. And that's going to be really soon. So as soon as they are, I'm out there and we're going to have a blast. I can't wait. Next, we got from T King. He writes, "What is your opinion on the new Adidas Tubular collection?" It's cool. I'm like crazy about it. I've never even owned a pair of Tubulars. You know, I see them, I like them, but I don't feel like buying them, so I don't like them that much. Maybe if I got a pair and I put them on my feet, that would change, but I'm not gonna buy that shoe when there's so many other shoes coming out. It's like, how many sneakers do I need to own, you know? And it seems like a sneaker that I need to try on to really like review because of the sole, you know? And I've gotten a lot of mixed reviews on how the shoe fits and how it feels on feet. A lot of people say it fits big. A lot of people say they're not very comfortable. So that's my whole thing with the Tubular. Next, we got from King Dizzy 23. He writes, "When do you think the Adidas Ultra Boost Triple Black and Triple White will release?" I think I may have released information on my blog, thesneakeraddict.com. I'm pretty sure I do. I don't remember up top, but check that out. Just do a search there. But I think it should be coming soon, and they look dope. Like, they really look dope, especially the old blacked out pair. Like, that's the one I want, you know, because we've seen the Ultra Boost just in white, so it being blacked out is super dope, you know. Like, it's like something that everyone's been wanting to see, and it just hasn't happened yet, and now we're seeing these images and it's just like, whoa, you know. It's so simple, it's just black instead of white. But being that we've seen just Boost in white, I mean, Boost has been around for a hot minute now, so, you know, seeing it white for so many years and now finally seeing another color is awesome. I'm definitely hype about that. Next question we got from Danny writes, "Do I think China will be in the Hall of Fame now?" Yeah, definitely now. Now that she can't speak, because I think they're just worried about how she's gonna be, because she's kind of all over the place. Like, even when you see whatever she's been doing, like I've seen something on YouTube with her in an interview, and she was like all over the place. So, you know, now that she's not able to actually speak, they'll probably put her in the Hall of Fame. Not anytime soon. I would say 5 to 6 years they'll put her in the Hall of Fame, just to have all that negative stuff fade away, like, you know, the porn stuff especially. And I'm curious to see, is anyone attracted to China? No disrespect, but I never thought of her as like attractive. Like, I never wanted to see her, you know, nude. Like, I think she was in Playboy. I don't even think she was in Playboy. Like, I wasn't into that. Like, I never was like, wow, this girl's hot. But some people are into that, like chicks with muscles and all that. Let me know what you think of China. Do you think she's hot, or you thought she was just a good wrestler? We don't gotta be disrespectful, and I don't mean in by any way me being disrespectful. I never looked at her as a sex object, you know. Like, that's what I'm getting at, because she did adult movies. Like, I just would not want to watch an adult movie with China. That would not get me going, you know. I'm just wondering, what about you guys out there? What about you females out there, you know? Moving on, next question we got from E Price. The King wants me to talk about my thoughts with Nike prices dropping on certain Nikes. Hey, if prices are dropping, I'm all for it, you know. Sounds good to me. Next we got from Allison and Brandon. He writes, "Can I get a birthday shout out to my wife, Allison? Thanks, Delz. You're the best." I just did. I think this is not the first time I've done this. I think I did this last year. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I remember giving her a shout out last year. Well, happy birthday, Allison, from your boy DJ Delz. Shout out to your husband, Brandon, for being a good husband, I would assume. I'd hope. Next we got from LJ Sampson. "I want to talk to Sampson." He writes, "If Melo waives his no contract clause, who's the best player we could get? Griffin? Hell no. Get Griffin out of here. I can't stand Griffin. I don't know. I can't even... You know what? The Knicks just make me sick, man. They absolutely make me sick. You know, I'm a New Yorker, grew up in New York. I lived there almost my whole entire life. I can't understand how New York is not in the playoffs. I think that Melo is kind of like a jinx to the team. Like, he's kind of like Mush from Bronx Tale, if you know what I'm talking about. How you doing? How you doing? I think that may be the case, man. And this guy has another question for me. He writes, have you seen Jeremy Lin's YouTube video made by fans about the flagrant fouls? Yeah, I've seen it, and that's some real bullshit right there. Maybe, I don't know if it's because he's Asian. I mean, part of me feels like it may be because he's Asian. How are people getting away with this over and over again? If you haven't seen this video, just search it. Jeremy Lin, no flagrant calls. Search it on YouTube, and you are going to be disgusted by the end of it. The first thing you see is Kobe just smacking his head, man, and it's brutal, the foul. And you see flagrant calls being made all the time, and it's the most BS calls. They barely are touching the guy. But this poor guy, Jeremy Lin, he's getting hit so hard, blood's coming out of his face. It's ridiculous. It makes me sick how this has happened, how people have gotten away with this. Even Carmelo, man, fouled him once. It was like almost like an uppercut. It was horrible. Horrible, man. I mean, it's there's no excuse for it. If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it. Because you're gonna be like, wow. Is it because he's Asian? Like, see, when I watched it, I don't understand how this has happened, how this could happen, you know? Is there something we don't know? Like, that's what I'm trying. Like, is there something we do not know? Like, did we not get the memo that, like, oh, well, it's okay to foul Jeremy Lin as hard as you want? Like, it's so foul. No pun intended. Next, we got from, I can't even say this name. Right, so, do you think Nike has failed with the LeBron 13 marketing? No, the shoe just is not that great. It looks like whatever, and it feels like, it's not that great. It's just not that great. Then he writes, they drop retail on the Elites for the same price as the regular 13s. Was this model a bust? Completely. A complete bust. But keep in mind, even if they're selling them for $99 right now at most retailers, they're still making money on the shoe, because I'm sure the shoe doesn't cost more than $10 to make, 10, 15 bucks to make. So they're still making plenty of money off of them. Next, we got from Hummatime87. He writes, is there anyone left that buys kicks they like? Or has hype really taken over? I don't know, man. You know, I hear a lot of people say stuff like this. I just don't pay attention to other people. Like, I just don't. I just do me, man. And I suggest everyone just do the same. You know, it's just shoes at the end of the day. It's not that deep. Like, moving on. We got from A. Pooter. He writes, thoughts on the NBA having company logos on their jerseys in their upcoming season, and do you like the sample Space Jams purplish or the retro release with the blue? I'd rather with the blue. That's my personal opinion. With the jerseys, it's all good to me. I don't really have any kind of thoughts with that. It doesn't matter to me. Next, we got from Dom. Whose album am I more excited about? ASAP Ferg's, which I'm actually just listening to for the first time today. Sounds pretty good. I definitely want to listen to it more. I was able to get like halfway through, but you know, I loved his first album. That thing was fire. So I'm definitely looking forward to just continuing on and vibing to that album. Drake's album's gonna be dope. You know, I know I know it's gonna be dope. How is it not gonna be dope? Everything he's put out is fire. But being that, you know, Ferg's album is out now and I'm recording this, kind of like kills the whole thing with your question. I'm looking forward to Drake's album. Definitely looking forward to it. Next, we got from Thuggist. He writes, Cameron's new kicks, hot or not? I haven't seen them in person, but I really wanted them. I'm a huge Cameron fan. Like, to me, he's top 10 rappers. A lot of people will be like, what? But, you know, I love Cameron's style. Some people are going to be like, as I just said, what? Style? He's got his own flow. He's got his own lane. He's got his own sound. I love that. I like rappers like Cameron, Ghostface, Redman, Nori. Those kind of MCs, I like them, you know? They may not be the most lyrical, but there's something about it where it just sounds it's just the type of shit I like to hear, you know. And there's some of my faves. Like as far as lyrical, my favorite rapper of all time is Nas. Like Nas is the greatest. There's no one better than Nas, in my opinion. And that's just what it is. That's my personal opinion on what I enjoy listening to. To me, Nas is the best. Next, we got from Max. He writes, have you ever set up something at a sneaker show? Not to sell, but to show off your rare kicks and talk to others about them. No, I have not. Maybe one day I'll do something like that. You know, that sounds like some work, having to bring my kicks and all that. Like, that just, it sounds fun, but at the same time, it just sounds like a little too much. Like, to bring all my sneakers out there or bring like a lot of them. I don't know about all that, but I love going to sneaker shows. I've been to a couple of the big ones like Sneaker Con in New York. I have a video. It's a pretty long video too. It's like 20 minutes long, and I think I did a good job shooting it, talking to the people, plus showing all the heat there. I tried to film as much heat as possible there, and it's definitely a lot of heat. And also I did one over in Charlotte, North Carolina, a Sneaker Con there, a video which was the same kind of vibe, talking to people out there and going through all the sneakers craziness. So definitely check those videos out on YouTube. Just search DJ Delz Sneaker Space Con, or one word Sneaker Con. I forgot how it is, and that'll come up, and you'll see how ill, man, those videos are. Definitely some of my favorite content I've put out there on YouTube. Next we got from Eric the Messiah. He writes, do you ice your soles? And if no, why? I've read this before, and I don't really understand what he's saying. I think what he's saying, now that I'm really thinking about it, I think he's talking about putting like that stuff to make your soles clear again. I'm not messing with all that Martha Stewart arts and crafts shit. Like, that's not for me. But salute to anyone that's with all that. But, you know, for you to have to handle chemicals like that, where it's going to literally do all that craziness, like, that's probably not even good for you to have near your body, you know. Like the fumes make you fucking brain dead, you know. It's probably really toxic, and I'm good. I'll just like get rid of my shoes if they get really yellow and I don't like them no more. I have more than enough pairs. Next we got, let's see, Theodore. He writes, what's my thoughts on the Copper 17s? I did a review on them. Check out that review. And also he writes, what's on my radar for the rest of the year? The Bread or Flu Game 12s, definitely, and a new pair of Space Jams would be sweet. That's really it. And next we got from Lewis. He writes, who am I voting for? I don't even know if I'm going to vote, because I really don't like anyone. Like, I like the most out of all of them Bernie, but the thing is that I feel like Bernie isn't very realistic with some of the stuff he wants to do. So at the same time, I'm like, you know, we've got a dreamer here, and then Hillary seems like a liar to me, and then Trump is just full-blown no chill. I just think he has no filter at all, and I feel like you cannot have a president like that. It's just too risky. He could do an amazing job, or he's going to do a terrible job if he's president. I personally predict Trump will be the president, and a lot of people are not going to like that, but there's more people that are voting for him, I think. When I go out and about, I see so many Trump signs and Bernie signs, like, not as many, you know, and Hillary signs, not as many. So, you know, I see a lot more support out there with Trump. And I'm not really into Ted Cruz also. I'm sorry, guys. Some guys are going to be sick that like Ted Cruz. I'm not really into Ted Cruz at all. That's one person I definitely don't want to be president. But if it was up to me, I would like them all to be president. Like, just share it, you know? I would like that. That would be dope. Because then they would have to come to an agreement with everything. Because they all got great ideas. It's just that there's negative things that I see about each and every one of them. But if all three of them could put their minds together, maybe that would be amazing, you know? Maybe it's going to take three people to be the president, like a team, you know? We'll see, man. You know that's not happening. Them forming like a Voltron or some shit. So we'll see who's going to be the president. But for some reason, I really feel that Donald Trump will be president. And, you know, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, let's say Trump is the president, right? What happens if Trump dies? Let's say some freak accident, or let's hope this never happens. He gets assassinated or something. Who's going to be the vice president for Trump? Being that Trump is kind of, not your typical guy, who's going to be the vice for him? Definitely not going to be that typical guy, I would say, or typical girl. Maybe Sarah Palin will be the vice president. You never know. Imagine if Sarah Palin was president. Some people will have a heart attack. So, it's just things to think about. I feel like politics is not a great thing to speak about because some people take it to heart too much. I hope I didn't insult anyone, and if I did, lighten up a little bit, I'm just answering the question. Moving on. Tony writes, what's my opinion on the Jordan 10 LAs? I think it's the best one out of the pack so far. Next we got from Sinner Souls. Is Prince a freaking legend? Yes or yeah? Both. Yeah and yes. Johnny Kicks writes, what's your opinion on Puma copying Adidas Ultra Boost cushioning with their own version, naming it NRG? Adidas has been fighting against Puma in the German courts, but it seems like Puma will still be releasing their version of Boost. Thanks for reading the question on the podcast. You're welcome, and I don't know what to say, man. What is there to say? It doesn't affect me at the end of the day because I'm not working for Adidas. I'm not working for Puma. None of them are putting money in my pocket. I'm a consumer. I spend $180 on, the Ultra Boost and the NMDs and all that other stuff, the Yeezys, all these Boost shoes, the Lillards. Well, some of the Lillards have Boost. I'm just a consumer, so I don't really care if other people are putting out their own version. Me personally, I don't know if I'm going to be rocking with the Puma version. I'm definitely not going to put money out on that because I have Adidas that has an amazing product. Why would I go there if I have to pay for it? If Puma would like to mail me a pair to try out, I would love to try them. As I said, I don't work for any of these brands. I am not signed to any brand. Until I'm signed to a brand, I am not devoted to just focus on one brand. And I don't care if people are putting out different types of Boost or something like Boost. Like even Skechers is doing something like that. Whatever. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. I don't work for anyone, Until it's affecting me personally, where, it's messing up my income, it doesn't bother me. I'm just going to buy Adidas shoes. Like, who knows? Maybe Puma's going to put out something that's better. You never know. You just never know. Next we got from Johnny Kicks. Oh my god, he wrote a whole bunch of questions. He writes, what's up with my sneaker collaboration? Is it done? And when will it be releasing? Because I want 2 pairs. It should be releasing at the end of the year. I can only say very little because they've made it clear not to say too much. I have the sample pair made and it's done. It's literally like made. The actual sample pair is made. So, it's really going down, I'm pretty sure, unless something happens last minute where they just shut down the whole project. But the sample is actually made now. There's a physical pair of Saucony shoes that I have designed. So that's a good thing. It means, this is really looking like it's coming, this release. Thank you for everyone that's really excited about this. And I am so excited that you guys are, females are. I really got to thank everyone because you guys supported me throughout all the years is what's having these brands pay attention to me and what I like. And I think this shoe is going to be a knockout the park that I'm putting out. I think you guys are going to love it. I wanted to put something out that anyone could wear at any time, really, and at the same time have some real unique looks to it and definitely something dope. I think these are going to be really dope. Like, I wanted to make something I was going to wear, that I wanted. So, you guys are going to love it. Who knows? You may be able to see images like next month. It could happen. It's just all about when the shoe is gonna release and when it makes sense to start leaking photos, because the photos can't leak that early because by the time it comes out it's kind of boring. I would rather the photos not leak at all until maybe a few days before the shoe comes out, because then you see the photos, the excitement's there, and then bang, it's available. I think that's awesome. I would love to show you all right now, but I got to think about what will be better for you all, as far as your experience with my first release. Like, because I feel like with me, I wouldn't want to see photos of a shoe so ahead of when it's going to release, and then it finally releases. It's like, oh, it's finally releasing. But sometimes you see photos early and it just makes you more and more excited. We'll see how it goes down. It's all up to Saucony, at the end of the day. So, I'm gonna follow what they want me to do. But there is a pair made. There is a sample pair made, like a physical pair. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see that. Also, another question: have I ever tried the angriest Whopper? No, I have not. I'm so not into these buns that are colored. Like, they have this red bun, they have this black bun for Halloween. Which, who wants to eat bread that's red or black or any other color, purple or like, chill. Like, I want a regular bun. Like a light brown bun with the seeds on it. Like, I don't want no black bun. That looks like, reminds me of Star Wars Episode 7, where Rey, she's eating that thing, that kind of bread that she makes. I don't know if you know if you've seen Star Wars Episode 7, you know what I'm talking about. It was like this black bread. I thought about that Whopper, the Halloween Whopper. I forgot what it's called, but I have no desire to eat any kind of sandwich like that has a colored bread. That just sounds weird. It's just not for me. But it may be amazing. Maybe I should try it. Maybe if I have a bite into it, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, this is the greatest Whopper ever. I'm probably gonna watch a review on it. Maybe that Dame Drops guy, I like watching him. He's kind of funny. I'll check out. I'm sure he has a review on it. And let me know if you guys tried that Whopper, if it's any good. I like the regular Whopper, the original Whopper with no weird bun. You can't go wrong with that. Next we got from Eric the Messiah, writes, thoughts on changing Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. Thoughts on changing? I thought they put her on the $20 bill. Maybe he wrote it wrong, or maybe I'm reading it wrong, but yeah, it's cool, man. And that's all I really got to say about that. Keeping it moving, we got a question from Thuggist. He writes, after the last injuries to CP3 and Blake Griffin, in your opinion, should they break up the Clippers? Definitely. That team ain't working. It's not the right chemistry as far as them put together versus other teams. They're just not working together. Some are blaming it on the coaching too. Some are blaming it on Doc Rivers, saying, he's not doing the job. I think it's just there's no chemistry. It's not working out with all of them. So I think it's definitely time to break them up, especially with these injuries now. With your key players, you got it. Next we got from Big Homie Souls. He writes, do you think Nike is going to retro LeBron soon? And what LeBrons do you want to see come back? Love your reviews and shows. Thank you. Thank you very much, for real. And I want to see the LeBron 2 come back the most. I love the LeBron 2. I really want that shoe to come back, especially the All-Star colorway. I have that one, and it's getting kind of beat up. I like pick and choose when I want to wear it. I want to just have a fresh new pair of those. And also the 3s, the 4s, those would be dope. The 1s, of course. The earlier models I'd like to see. I have plenty of 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s. So, those, I'm not that hype about. Next, we got, San. He writes, why aren't the Yeezy 950s successful? P.S. Keep up the good work. Thank you. And, I think they were not successful because they were just overpriced boots, and it's sneakers that people are crazy about, not boots. There's some people that love boots. Shout out to Dallas Penn. I know he's crazy about his Timberlands, but besides that, I mean, there's not really a huge boot culture. There's a sneaker culture, so people are super into sneakers, and that's the whole thing. And I was talking to someone about that with the actual word sneaker culture. And to me, sneaker culture means, knowing about sneakers, knowing about the history of sneakers, um, knowing about the materials of sneakers, you know, stuff like that. Not buying and selling. Like going to a sneaker event and just like putting your shoe in the air and trying to sell it for $900. That's not sneaker culture to me. To me, sneaker culture is just like loving sneakers and knowing about the history of sneakers and all that good stuff. To me, that's the culture. Um, just wanted to mention that. I want to see what people think about that. But I think people think the culture is just buying and trading and selling. Like, to me, that's not culture. What's culture to you? I'm wondering. As far as with sneakers and in general. Next, we got from Steve. He writes, "What's my thoughts on the Mamba ID 11s? Did you pick up a pair? Enjoy the podcast. Keep up the good work. Thanks, homie." I didn't pick them up. I was thinking about it, and I realized, you know what? I'm not gonna like. It's not even like the Flyknit version. I was like, I'm good. I'm gonna pass on them. They're cool though, but I passed. I can understand why people would want them because the graphic on the upper is pretty dope, and I just passed on them. Lewis writes, "Have you noticed a lot of LeBron sitting on the shelves? Possible price reduction next year." That would be the smart thing to do, but I doubt they will. Because as I was saying, even if they mark it down to $99 on sale, they're still making a profit off of it. I think Nike knew they weren't going to sell. Deep down, like, I think they knew that the LeBron wasn't going to sell like that. But I may be wrong. They really need to drop it down to like 180. They're charging way too much for these basketball shoes, all of them. Even the Kyrie's, like they creeping up like in price. Like they need to chill. Like chill out, Nike. Oh my God, like chill, right? OKD94 writes, "Who's more influential in the sneaker community, the artist or the athletes?" I would say right now, 2016, it's tied. I would say it's tied. If you asked me 5 years ago, I would say definitely the athletes by like a landslide. But now I would say it's about tied. Which is, it's never been like that in my eyes. Some will disagree with me. I mean, even if you look back in the days, like when like Jay-Z and G-Unit put out their shoes, like with Reebok, people weren't taking it that serious. Like now, like people take every like collabo serious with an artist, it seems like. For the most part, there may be here or there that you're not taking it that serious, but in 2016, it's almost like the artists, like rappers, and even like designers, there's more hype with that versus just the brand putting out a shoe. There has to be like an attachment for people to connect to it. People like to have sneakers that have some sort of story or have a connection. I know I personally do myself. Like a lot of my shoes that I own, they have concepts to them. I have probably like 15 pairs of shoes that are inspired by Star Wars just because I'm a crazy Star Wars fan. And then I have probably another like 15 shoes that are inspired by all types of movies. And I have shoes that are inspired by, rappers, like they did collaborations. I have probably about 30 different pairs of sneakers designed or, just a project put out with an actual artist. And then we have shoes designed by like influencers and creators and designers. I've got my shoe coming out. People are more into that, I think, nowadays versus just like, oh, LeBron's new shoe, or this basketball player or this one. The athletes, like people are still excited, but in a way, I may even say that the artist, there's more hype with the artist if you really look at it. It's definitely that was a good question right there. I'm curious to hear everyone's opinions on that, because the more I think about it, kind of thinking that the artist may be more influential in 2016, and that's something I never thought would happen. If you asked me that 10 years ago. And next we got E Price the King. He writes another question. He writes, speak of questions. The Iverson question is one of the greatest sneakers of all times. I agree, it's a classic. I mean, I have featured that shoe many times on my channel. I love it. I love the sneaker. And I recommend everyone owning one pair of them. They're really dope. And from my understanding, the white and blue toe, that shoe should be coming out around Black Friday, by the way. That'll be like the last question to release during the year. It's either coming out Black Friday or it's going to come out near Christmas. And I don't know if anyone really knows that. I didn't see anyone ever talk about that. But I spoke to someone over at Reebok and they were telling me that. Next we got from Work in Progress. He writes, what's my thoughts on the Alien Stomper Retro? I digged them. I actually tried to get them, but I didn't have any luck getting them in my size. I wanted the regular one, but I did want the high one just as a display piece because I thought it would be fun to have. I'm putting together a sneaker room. I keep talking about it for the past week or so. But I'm trying to put together a sneaker room and have a bunch of things like that, to check out when you walk in. And that would definitely be a cool pair of kicks to have out, but unfortunately I struck out on it. But I'm not losing any sleep over it. If I get it, I get it. If not, then on to the next one. There's always another sneaker releasing. Like every week there's at least one pair of kicks releasing, so you gotta just move on to the next release because it's non-stop. It's non-stop. They're always releasing a new pair of shoes. It's not like if you look back 3 to 5 years ago, timeline wise, sneakers would come out twice a month you wanted, Now it's every single week for how many years now? It's been like that basically all last year, and now it's like that again this year. And Jordans are sitting. Look, the Air Jordan 10, the New York City edition, that thing is just chilling. You could pick that up, I mean, I'm sure it'll sell out eventually, but you're able to get it on release day. It was just sitting on a lot of websites. Who would think that shoe would sit? But you got a whole bunch of the same color combination together on a Jordan, and how many times are people going to buy a black shoe, in the course of 1 year with gold hits? Think about all the shoes that have came out that are black with gold hits. It's enough is enough, they need to spread it out a little bit. Oh, by the way, from my understanding, also the Drake 12, the collaboration with Drake, the Air Jordan 12 OVO, that should be releasing in July, from my understanding. Like I'm saying understanding a lot. Yeah, it should be releasing in July, so be on the lookout for that. And that concludes this podcast, I guess. I don't really have any more questions. I wanted to go for a 1 to 2 hour podcast, but I didn't get enough questions. So, I tried. I don't really have anything else to speak about off top. So make sure, to leave your questions so the next podcast will be longer, because was willing to go on longer, but I got no more Q&A, and I really don't have much to speak about, So I hope you guys enjoyed this one right here. If you're listening on iTunes, make sure to I think there's a place to rate the podcast, or there's also a place where you can subscribe also, and there's a bunch of things. Show that support, iTunes, I actually have to pay for this to be on iTunes, so just show that support with leaving the comments, all that good stuff. Let your friends know about the show, and I'll have a new podcast hopefully in a week or so, depending on the reaction. I'm just kind of playing it by ear right now. Don't forget to go to my blog, thesneakeraddict.com, for your sneaker news. Go there morning, noon, and night like clockwork on Saturdays and even on Fridays during release time, which is mostly around 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to my blog, thesneakeraddict.com, around 9:50 a.m., and I will have tons of information to help you guys out with the heads up on the releases for the day. Also, shout out to Find for the Low. Find for the Low on Twitter. Twitter.com/Find for the Low. If you're not following that Twitter account, you're missing out. This account is tweeting away so many amazing deals to help everyone out. I love following this account. So make sure to follow Find for the Low. Trust me, major deals, major key, as Khaled would say. What do you guys think about Khaled? Are you guys still loving Khaled, or are you getting tired of him a little bit? Let me know about that too. I'm curious to hear your opinions on that. I still find him entertaining, but I'm curious to hear about everyone else. I like Khaled. I could relate to, when he says stuff with grinding and trying to get in the door, and they quote unquote stopping you. And that's been like the story of my life. They. So I enjoy Khaled, but I'm curious to hear your opinions on that. Follow my social networks. My Twitter, my personal Twitter is DJ Delz, and my Sneaker Addict Twitter is the Sneak Addict. That's just strictly sneakers. And my Instagram is Team DJ Delz. Make sure to follow Team DJ Delz, because when I post when the next podcast is, you guys will have the opportunity, if you'd like to be a part of it, to shoot questions my way for the podcast. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. I really appreciate it. Everyone be great out there. And with that said, we out.